Yeah, ready. Hello. Everybody's here. How you doing? Hope your day is going okay. So far, mine's going splendidly. As you can see, the old Meckaroo here is headless, cockpitless, basically everything less that it needs to have. So we're gonna do a little bit of repairs. We're gonna do just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Hope you like it. That's about it. I'll be paying attention to the chat. So, yeah, something to say. I might even respond. All right, here we go. So, for those of you that I don't know, so this is based on this mech, and its coloring is based on these old CMF Space Miner guys, and I wanted to make them a mech. So I did. I'm not really too happy with the legs, but we'll fix it eventually. But right now, I just wanted to focus on some other things. I had some ideas, and so we're just going to do a little bit of work on the shoulders, and maybe a little bit of work here and there, but nothing major. I made a horrible cargo container recently, so I'll take that apart and do something else with it. And let's see here. My Bino parts that I need is right behind me. And yeah, there we go. I'm going to mute myself so that you don't hear rattling bricks. Hey, my wonderful sister is here. Hello, Lexi. I hope everything's cool with you. I apologize. Lexwana, I hope everything is okay with you. So, we're gonna find some orange bits. And I also apparently lied, so yeah, you're gonna hear a little bit of this. Some orange bits and pieces to go on the robot. And I found a Captain America shield. That's good. I'm happy to hear it. That's good. And then you've had a couple of rough days or what have you, and I know how it goes. Alright, I found it. No more parts rattling in theory. I am curious to see what's going to happen today. Yeah, for reasons. So we'll just wait and see what happens. But until then, I am going to build my little heart out. So that's my plan. And so once again, I'm just completing the not completing, but just adding on some final touches to the center cock, the control points, and yeah, getting old sucks. The end. But part of life. So we're doing this. So we're gonna have like a little in the back there. So it'll be a little rounded, and we'll go from there. But yeah, trying to figure out how to get this whole building on camera thing going. It's always been an issue that I've had. So I'm gonna try to do something kind of wonky. See that happens, and then all of my lighting that I set up is perfect. Great. Alrighty. So we got a better view of everything that's happening. here. And yes, these are very much spare parts that were concocted together to make something, and then I was never happy with it, so now I'm removing them to make something that I'm somewhat happy with. We'll see what happens. But I think a little splash of blue on there from a stickered piece is going to work pretty well for what I want to do. Yeah, we're just going to go from there. Hey, Brett. How's it going, dude? And Brett, you got my sister's name wrong. It is Lexwana. It's not Lexi. So, just throwing that out there. Take some mud baths with Klingons. You know. So I always wondered about that in Star Trek, because later on, hey Meredith, good to see you. Hello. So in Star Trek, you know, like for whatever reason, Lexwana got a really akin to Alexander, and you know, treated him like a grandchild. And then you know later in the series, words happening, I can think of them. Later in the series, Worf and Deanna were like, hey, and I always wondered if, like, when that didn't work out, if Grandma still talked to, like, Alexander, or was she a bad grandma, like Worf was a bad father. So, I hope not. Yes, for those that just got here, Commander Worf was a horrible father. Just a bad dad. And it only got worse, really, as the series went on. In Deep Space Nine, in the later seasons, Alexander showed back up and was ready for, like, to fight in the Dominion War. And, like, Worf used his pull to get him on, like, the flagship of the Klingons, and like it just wasn't good. It was really just bad. Like, hey, dude, you're awesome, and we're glad to have you on the team. However, your son is well, yeah, I remember. Yeah, it was good. I especially liked the Western episode of the holodeck when they went into that and they played Westworld, and then somehow computer glitches happened and everybody turned into Data. So, yep. Which makes perfect sense in the Star Trek universe. Perfect sense. Also, I like that Worf, the only thing Worf got out of therapy was the chance to, you know, hang out with Deanna Troi. Like, that was his takeaway. Not, like, help heal his family and do a better job, but, like, well, got me a lady friend. Which is not what therapy is used for. Yes, that one is fantastic as well. It's very well written. And I liked that they had a throwback of that in Deep Space Nine. Yeah, Seven of Nine's parents were horrible, but she turned out to be okay. She adjusted those Borg kids to, you know, be less Borgy and more human-y. It turns out, though, that the actor that played the head kid, I can't remember the kid's name or the actor's name, apparently a real scumbag. Like, holy crap, scumbag. So that's interesting. I guess as he got older, he got more interested in Seven's enhancements, as it were. So, yeah. But it's funny as hell. There's always one, right? Deep Space Nine was also a fantastic show. Miles O'Brien, the best character in Star Trek ever. To hell with Kirk, to hell with Picard, to hell with Janeway. I said it. Miles O'Brien. I would have just wanted a show that centers around Miles O'Brien doing mundane tasks, and then all of a sudden, weird alien entities just pop up, like on Star Trek, and just him having to deal with that. Hey, Miles, the universal translator isn't working. That's your job to fix. The fuck? Just being angry in general, much like he was. Yeah. And then Julian just being his best friend. I would watch that show too. I really hope that we'll see O'Brien on Picard at one point. Like, please. Because I know that Com Mimi has been on record as saying, yeah, I'm down to be back on Star Trek. Because, it's not that he's an out of work actor, it's that he's not working frequently actor, and he likes the show. That was my take anyway. Don't take that as gospel. So. Okay. So this is the problem that I'm dealing with, is that I don't know how to use a camera. So the back here is adjusted so that I could do really whatever the hell I want with it. I just, like, the cockpit piece is done. Like, this will be the, thing. Come on, Reg. Yeah, Reg had a horrible time in space. Like, after that first whole big problem ever, I would have been like, yeah, I'm done. You guys have a nice life. Space is not for me. Ever. That's yep. Bro got turned into a spider. And then had a genetic disease named after him. Which is cool, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. He did make that weird holosuit fantasy. By the way, holodecks were for screwing, by the way. Just, I'm going to get that out there now. I can be wrong. I'm okay with being wrong. But Reginald definitely was, he was definitely banging the holodeck version of Deanna Troy. I know my sister will agree with me on this. Because we're that deprived. Like, that was creepy. Like, huh. I don't know. What's also worse, though, is that, like, oof. I mean, it was in her logs, so, like, the poor bastard that got assigned to, like, going through Janeway's logs, when they got home, and was just like, and Chakotay took control of the ship. Why? Captain and chief navigator that is also a criminal turned into lizards. Huh. I'm gonna go talk to my supervisor about this. Yeah, I definitely would have, like, if I were that guy and I know that happened, I think I would just bring it up in casual conversation to them, just to be like, hey, here's you guys turned into salamanders once. Just for the most awkward dinner table discussion ever. What was that like? Horrible. Thanks for asking. I don't think I would do well in the Star Trek world. I'd probably just be a grumpy engineer. Really just grumpy anything. I don't think I could do the whole doctrine thing. But, I think a shrink on a starship would be neat. I think that's where my role would feel. Well, why do you feel desperate and alone? Because they gave us windows in our rooms, and all we see is the bleak, dark emptiness of space. Oh, well, sometimes you see, a nebula. Also, I want to take a moment to talk about personal logs. So, everybody on the Enterprise apparently has to make logs. Everybody in Starfleet has to make personal log entries and blah, blah, blah. Like, our journal. So, what if there's, Ensign, Mitchell, who is, not really known, but he serves on the bridge from time to time. He's, the guy in the background standing by the door, right? And he's, a security officer because you need security on the bridge. I mean, how many times have bad guys beamed in, through shielding or whatever? I think that was, every other episode for a while. So, dude's standing there. He just does his job. And they come across, the Romulan bird of prey, and it's decloaking off the port bow. And that's forward to the left, by the way. So, Worf is shields and phasers armed, and Picard just sighs and is just give him a minute, and whatever, fisticuffs happen, and Worf was the worst shot in Starfleet, if anybody ever noticed. Go back and watch a couple of episodes where there's ship to ship fighting, and it's not good. He misses a lot. And you're the security guard, you're you're training me to be a tactical officer. And you just see Worf miss 100 times in a row. And it's well, okay. You can only just wobble with the deck as it gets hit by plasma torpedoes, and, the Romulans start gaining the upper hand. So, okay, you're that guy. You're that ensign. I mean, Guinan can shoot it better. I mean, ship to ship, phasers and photon torpedoes and stuff like that. And God help them if there's barrels around. So you're making your log, and you're, adding in a little bit of things. And then, the ray of sunshine is that you're going to go meet Miranda, this gal that you met in 10 Forward. She's a botanist, but she's nerdy. She's got the whole hot librarian thing going for her. And, that's your skis. And you're yeah, I finally got a date with, Miranda. We're going to go hang out and blah, blah, blah. And she's I think I'm going to stay the night at her quarters tonight. It's going to be a good time. So that happens. And, he gets called to the bridge. Ensign, blah, blah, blah. Please come up to the bridge. Captain Picard needs to talk to you. Oh, okay. As you're leaving, you see, Commander Riker, big dick swinging up and walking in. I was oh, I heard the captain's got to talk to you. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, home slice heads on up there. And Picard's what are you talking about? Who are you? Why are you on this ship? You, sir. So he leaves, and he goes back to Miranda's place to, get jiggy with it. And he sees Riker leaving, and it's just Stardate, whatever. It would appear that Miranda is no longer interested in me. I wonder how many times that ever happened. Because, Riker was a man whore for the most part. So, it's just, those are thoughts that occupy my brain when I'm bored. That sounds bad. But, pretty sure Riker is a jerk. I mean, you can. The rifles had sights, and that's another thing. Why did they even have rifles? I get personal defense and all that stuff, but can they just beam the stuff away? I don't know. It seems like that was a mess, and it should have been handled better. But that's just me. Old Gene Roddenberry was like, well, we can't have any conflict in space. What? So, yeah, good times with that. Good times. So this is what we got. This is what's going on in the back end, as it were. And I think I'm going to hook this up to it and do something with it. I'm not 100% sure of what that will be, but it will look neat. They were fighting. Oh, you can start with Andy's to make me. Wait, sis, what are you talking about? They had awesome Marines. Didn't you see that episode where they protected the communications thing on that planet and Nog lost a leg? Well, he didn't really lose a leg. It's not like, hey, where'd my leg go? But, Nog got wounded, and then it was like 4 episodes of him just being really bummed out. They're doing great. It's not like they could have a ship in orbit or anything and be like, hey, those enemy forces are moving on the thing. Great, photon torpedo. Or, hey, use our precision phasers and, end that situation. But they didn't, and that's okay. So, yeah. All the technology in the world, but we should dig trenches and fight in this horrible landscape. What could go wrong? Alright, so modifications have been made to the weird backpack thing. I don't know what this is yet, but I think it looks neat. And that's basically where I'm coming at with all this. So, yeah. We're going to take this off, I hope, and not break anything. Well, break it, but do a controlled break so that I can attach the who's-its to the whatnots. There we go. All right, whatnots almost successfully attached. Things are going real well right now, let me tell you. Things have stopped going well. All right, so we got all that on there. We got all this on there. So special shout out to the patrons of the channel. Really appreciate what you guys do for us. This month, we socked away what we needed to, and that's just hanging and waiting. I know in October, I'll be purchasing a set and probably doing my very first review, but that will be on the patrons only thing. So if you'd like to join, we have prices starting at $2.99, maybe $3.99. I can't remember. And it really helps the channel grow, and just helps in general. I'm sorry for having to plug that, but that's where I'm at. The patron is tons of fun. Just do the thing. I think it's like patreon.com/tons of fun. And you'll see us there, and there's a picture of my belly, and it's a good time. But this is what we got so far. This is the new backpack that's going on, and so it's kind of like a little rocket jet for jumpies. So in theory, it should hook right into here, right? Oh, video, camera, Jeff, camera. So we'll just go right there, and then we'll have little jumpies. I think I'm going to get rid of the orange old school space Lego guns, though, and add something else. And go from there. So that's where I'm at. Also, Lexi, you believe in giving reasons for nonsensical things. Why did Starfleet have an ATV called the Argo? I mean, it was cool. It had like the landing craft, and then like shoots out like what it shot out. I can't. It's just weird. Why would that? Why is that a thing? Take your time. Whatever reason you come up with should be really good. Right now, I'm looking for who's it. I don't really know the names of pieces. This is a who's it that hangs on the side. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm not good at it. So I can't find the color, but I think I might be able to wing wham woo it. Wing wham wooing is designing it differently, by the way. Just people want to know. It's a proper technical term. So yeah, well, it looks like we got a wing wham woo it. We're gonna make sure that we do it right though, as opposed to the way that I had it, which was incorrect. No, Lexi, it wasn't the captain's yacht. It was a big shuttlecraft. The captain's yacht was featured prominently in Insurrection. It was the first time. Duh, nerd. What the hell is that? Oh yeah, because nothing says stealth like a giant ATV doing 150. Never mind. I mean, that's just the definition of stealth right there. Ask anybody. I'm blaming you for the writing on that, Lexi. Just so you know, it is completely your fault. No, it's in. Oh God, which one? Yeah. Is it though? Because like when they were on that desert, like they were just kicking up like 30 feet of sand. Like that's not exactly the definition of stealth, That's the definition of Patrick Stewart going, I'm young, I'm hip. Not that there's anything wrong with Patrick Stewart. I love Patrick Stewart. Good dude, as far as I can tell. But I mean, just. And then, Worf's here for some reason. Oh, hey, Worf. So, you get Worf going. What am I doing? So Nemesis was the horrible one that ruined the franchise for like almost 10 years. That's where it had. Well, Tom Harding was in it. He played. He played Picard, sort of. Yeah. It was young Tom Harding too. So there's that. Remember that one time that I decided that it'd be a good idea to try this? I was wrong. So this is not going as well as I would like it. But I'll press on. Alright, so this is what we got going on right now. Lexi, you like Star Trek V, right? Or am I the only one that actually kind of enjoyed Star Trek V? That is the "What does God need with a starship" quote, in case you're wondering. I know it's directed by the Shat himself. So. Cool. Was the Final Frontier or whatever it was called? And yeah, Jesus, it was bad. Except for DeForest Kelly. DeForest Kelly really got to act in that one. It was cool seeing Bones being, well, Bones, I guess. I don't know. Are we wiggly? No, no wiggles. Are we slightly off center from the other? Yes. Do I need to fix this before I have a conniption fit? Yes. Yeah, that's fair. I like the whales. Like the voyage home was probably my favorite because it was, now we're in a Klingon bird of prey, and yada shmada, and so not only did Admiral Kirk bring home, save the world with those whales, but he, also, brought home a piece of enemy technology. So, what the hell? Yeah. Carl Urban is a gift to the science fiction world. That is for gosh darn sure. Like without a doubt, he is a gift to the science fiction community. From like Lord of the Rings to I can't remember. I can't remember the show that he was on Fox, but it was fantastic. He played a beat cop, not a beat cop. He played a detective. It was a futuristic show, and he had like a cyborg for a partner, and of course he was salty about having a cyborg as a partner. And he was tracking down murder stuff, and he couldn't find who did whatever they did. But Fox, being Fox, was like, "Oh, you had these in order for a reason? That's cool. We're just gonna nah." So everything was shown out of order, and you couldn't like one episode would like literally reference another episode, but it would be out of order, etc. And it just sucked. But it was doing the same. I know which one you're talking. Just not. Yeah. See, this is the problem with who we are because we're both sci-fi nerds. It was really good too, from what I recall. Anyway, just gonna leave you with that nugget of trivia. I have to redesign this part. Why? Because of course I do. So those vents don't work there. So let's take those off. I'm removing some of the back stuff. We're also going to get rid of that because that was a desperate move on my end. So I'm going to modify this just a bit more. No, Space Above and Beyond was not good. I think that you're looking at it through nostalgia glasses, which is fine, but it was not good. It was bad. No. Just, ugh. Alright, that needs to go up another layer. I mean, I love the concept of Space Above and Beyond. Like, that was great. Like, 12-year-old me was really into it, but I can't remember which streaming service. Sorry, noises. Can't remember which streaming service has it, but like, it's on there, and I was like, "Oh, this will be a cool trip down memory lane," and it was just, it's awful. Like, it's not good. That stuff didn't hold up. And yeah, I know it's a late 90s, early whatever's, show, but it did not hold up. It's still a cool concept, though. I mean, the fighter craft were legendary as far as I'm concerned. We, add in the who's its and they do the whatnots, and it, slides into a chassis, as it were. That's what we got. We had another layer of plates there, so that way when I connect this thing up to here, there's enough room. So there we go. We got like a little bit of a modified jetpack engine back end thing going on, and then I've got to put those vents back there without the accoutrement. So, yep. Babylon 5 definitely holds up. The best, if not the best, written science fiction television program of our generation. I said it. I think that was the first lesbian kiss on TV as well, with what's her name and the psychic lady who turned out to be a double agent. But I think that was the first time that ever happened. I could be horribly mistaken. But lots of progress in that as well, just handled better than their competition even, which was Deep Space Nine. In my humble opinion, anyway. Garibaldi was still my favorite character in that show. Well, I mean, in that episode, she flipped, but there was like hintings at it before, like they did it in their own little way, so it was not to be seen as the gays are taking over the TV, with our agendas and everything. We don't have an agenda, by the way. Well, we might, but nobody's given me the memo. So, okay, so mech is getting there. I like the back of it a whole heck of a lot more. Yep. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a modified cockpit piece. Yes, it was. Yes. The elevator episode in particular was my favorite episode with those two being featured. I can't remember what happened, but the station got into a combat and no, there was bombs. Mad Bomber blew up part of the station, and the elevator thing happened, and those two happened to be on the elevator. This was just after Londo ordered the genocide of the Narn, which yeah, Jakar was not happy about it. There wasn't anything he could do as people were defeated, yada shmada. But they were stuck in the elevator, and Londo's just trying to get out so that he can live, and Jakar is just laughing. Aren't you going to help me try to get out of here? No. Well, what about yourself? Aren't you going to help yourself? No. Why? I'm not allowed to kill you. Which you mandated because I don't want my family dead. But I can watch you die. And if I die too, that's perfectly okay. Exactly. Hello, is anybody out there that can help me? We hear you. It's just, just that back and forth. Crack me the hell up. Still does. Alright, so canopy nonsense. Test 1. Let's see what we got. So this is canopy test 1. Yep. So good times with that. And we're working on everything else. Hey, chap, what's going on? That's another good movie. Total Recall is another one of those movies from the past that was just ridiculous. And the new one was ridiculous. The new one with Colin Farrell, oh my god, it's just bad. So this is what we got going so far. It's not where I want it to be. I like the little flappies, so we're gonna keep the little flappies. I like that this folds open, or rather, folds closes and then unfolds like that. So we're gonna do a little bit more modifications. Oh, it's real bad. Chop, they instead of the whole Mars angle, it's they travel, so like Earth is screwed. Shocker. And they have to they have to do something on the other side of the planet, but they start out in like one part, and they've devised a thank you. And they've devised a plan. They devised transportation of like a high-speed shuttle thing that goes through the. It's really bad. It's not good. It's yeah. Thank you. Yeah, they match the little dudes here. So yeah, Running Man was great. The movie was awesome. The book was something else. That's for sure. Stephen King, am I right? So. I was actually trying to stay away from Power Loader vibe. Damn it. Thanks, Lex. Chop, this is my sister, Luxwana. Her name might say Lex, but that's not true. It's Luxwana. It's fine. I mean, it's fine. Just insult my art and shit. Expect everything to be okay. Don't waste your time. It's not good. Alright, so we're gonna try something if I can find the other piece that I need to use to try something with. Otherwise. Yep. Madam, you're not wrong. I am, in fact, a dork-ass dork. Thanks, man. See, Chop can appreciate me, unlike my sister. Well, to be fair, though, Chop, to my sister, whom I love, she's not really a Lego gal. So these colors make sense to Lego people because it's like, oh, it's the Power Miner CMF from way back when. So, like, there you go. That's what I'm trying to go for. Exactly. You and I know these colors because we're old and we remember things. But, like, he's got my little pilot guy set up. Finally found a use for Nexus Night stuff. And, just a little pilot. Whatever. So we're dealing with all that. Oh, hey, what's going on, VW? Or your monster? Oh, your children, gotcha. Nah, just doing this, man. Just wanted to get a little bit of building in and turn my brain off. Well, not turn my brain off, but block everything that's going on right now. Just get back to what I'm supposedly good at. See, it's okay. You don't gotta know. I mean, it's just your brother's favorite hobby of all time, so why pay any attention to that? But tell me more about your Wasteland games. Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I'm actually really satisfied with how this is coming along. It's a little different, and yeah, I actually really like it. I'm not sure anyone else will. I don't really do it for anybody else. All right, later, Jeff. Have a good one. Have a good time. Oh, don't sass Wasteland. Okay, I'm not sassing. I know you are. So, my sister is my sister. I'm really excited to announce this. Yeah, Tons of Fun is joining a semi quasi new cast member full time. Uh, I'm gonna rope my sister into more things, and Julian is taking a break from streaming and everything else, and Lexwana is gonna start joining us almost every Friday. We might skip the Lego episode with her, but this week we're doing Dungeons and Dragons. The week after we're going to be doing Super Nintendo stuff. Kevin Hinkle's going to be guest starring on that. Dungeons and Dragons, I tentatively have Flynn from Tricky Bricks coming on to talk about D&D. And at the end of the month will be the Lego episode. So I'm just really happy that my sister and I are doing something together. So, yeah. She's part of the reason as to why I am the way I am today. So I'm very happy that she's going to be joining me and my pals and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I can't wait. So, yeah. Yeah. So, my sister, Lex, I'm going to throw you an invite. Give me a second, and I'm going to have you tell the Kobold story. There you go. All right, I'm going to put my headphones on too, so that way it's not all loud and stupid and we have quasi good sound. Oh, that's awesome. Lex, I sent you a thing to join in, so join in already. Yeesh. There she is. All right.
Okay.
Hi, sis.
There we go. I had to move my audio over.
Oh, someone has their thing on. I think it might be me.
No, it's
Give me 1 second, because I forgot to do things. All right, cool. Luxana.
yes. Okay, so
Sis,
the
can you hear me?
kobolds. Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on? Oh, it's my sound. Give me a minute, because I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Did you ever?
Because buttons. Sorry.
Yes, raccoons are cool.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Oh, this is not a possum.
You motherfucker. Oh, you are just asking for it now, buddy.
Yep, she's a professional raccoon. She's a trash panda. All right.
Yes, that is very true.
Uh-huh. All right, regale them with the kobold story that we'll tell again on Friday.
All right, so it was the first or second section of a new campaign, and just you know who it is, Jeff, but it was Lucy as the DM.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, this is probably part of why I got away with it. But our we were sent to go deal with a group of kobolds who were, you know, doing bandit stuff in the city.
Why
And
were kobolds allowed in the city in the first place? Who is this?
it's
Bitch?
Eberron.
Oh, Eberron's the best. Okay.
Yeah. So we have them cornered in their alley hideout,
Uh-huh.
and everyone else is like, okay, let's just kill him and be on our way. It's like, no, I'm gonna talk to him first. And it ended up, I'll admit, it did kind of end up getting away from me, because it's like, say like, hey, there's other ways to make money, guys, that are, not going to get you stabbed.
That's fair.
And they said like how, so I got put on the spot, and my character being who she is, and nobody stopping her ever, basically said, okay, how about we renovate an old Temple of Aranway, and you guys can move in and make it a brothel and a church.
Holy shit. And just keep this in mind, it is kobolds that are ladies of the night in this. Or escorts, or however you would like to put it. So you can get a fang job.
And later on, my character convinced a mimic to come work in the brothel because it fed off surprise. Yeah, I keep getting away with this shit, and I don't know why.
That's okay. I'm not gonna do the whole blah blah blah, but I will tell you funny stuff. The reason that Rinaldi is the party leader is because no one else wants to speak up half the time, except for Krosh. And Krosh is just the goodest good boy ever. Like, he's employee of the month all the time, because it's the Evan Blade Company. That's also Rinaldi's last name, and his surname, and yada shmada, and whatever. So we didn't have a name for the party, because I guess that's a thing. Like, you have to do that now, or at least Don said we had to, and we're like, we don't care about that, but okay. And it became the Even Blade Mercenary Company for tax reasons.
That's fair.
Yeah. You're no longer a raccoon.
I know.
Okay.
I'm doing something to annoy you.
Oh, fantastic. There it is.
There we go. I learned it by watching you.
Oh, you're older than me.
Look, if we're gonna bring facts and logic into this,
I mean, I'm just saying, you're older than me by like a lot. Like, I can't wait to put you in a home.
Oh, motherfucker!
I'll put you in a home in Australia. How's that?
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay, good. And Em and I will live in Perth or something. I don't know. That way you have to put up with us. And your super tall Australian lady nurses with Australian accents.
That just stands to reason.
Will you be okay with that?
I think I could live with it.
Yeah? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. That doesn't work with what I'm doing. Dang it. Okay. Ugh. So, Star Trek, right?
Right.
Are you watching any of the newer stuff, or
Uh,
if you are or not?
I watched part of the first season of Picard, which I
Oof.
keep meaning to get back to just to finish it.
It's not good.
I watched all of Lower Decks
That's good.
because it's hilarious.
I mean, that's us in Star Trek for the most
Pretty
part.
much, yeah.
So, and Brave New World is coming out soon too, and I would like to watch that a great deal.
Oh
So,
yeah.
the Pike Enterprise is, yeah. So, there's also the weird cartoon. I don't know if you know about the weird cartoon.
Vaguely.
Oh, okay, cool. Excellent talking point. Thank you.
Hate you.
You always sound so frustrated. I don't know why.
I'm
Oh.
41 years old and I have to deal with you.
Oh, I mean, would you
I'm kidding.
rather not deal with me?
No, I'm fine. I am perfectly fine with it. I am just giving you crap.
Oh, of course you are.
I am obligated to.
Yeah, Chap, I agree with you. The card was not good. It was neat seeing 7 of 9, though. It was neat seeing 7 of 9 and not a skin-tight outfit and actually being a character. How's that? Just, writing.
Yeah. There were some things I didn't like about it. Like, I liked the idea of Starfleet, kind of falling apart. But
Yeah.
it
was too military-minded for me.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
reasonable, and that doesn't really fit the thematics of Star Trek. So
yeah. Well, yeah, you could do that, of course, too, Chop. That's But then you have to watch Voyager. Womp womp. Justice for Tuvix. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, and that's another thing is that kind of seems like it should be some kind of murder of a Starfleet officer charge doing that.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's just really weird. But a lot of the shit posting Star Trek groups that I belong in, because it's funny as hell and actually pretty wholesome most of the time, they always bring up Tuvix like every chance they get. Remember Tuvix, remember Tuvix, remember Tuvix, and it's like, okay,
Yeah. See, I like Janeway too. Voyager just had the problem a lot of Star Trek series have is that the first season is garbage. Like irredeemable garbage.
Did the salamanders happen in the first season?
I don't think so.
All right. Chop, so we're going to cut this short because my battery's dying and I'm not prepared to load in the other one. And I just kind of want to do this for a bit. Chop, was Salamanders in the first season or was that in the second season? Because he's rewatching Star Trek right now. He's rewatching Voyager. He just stated that. So hopefully he can tell us. No, not buys. When was the Salamander episode, Chop? When Janeway and Paris broke the warp barrier and went to warp 10. And then they turned into salamanders and had babies. which is weird.
Yes, it was.
Nobody's telling us this is not good. Oh, you're not rewatching season 1. Damn it all. All right. So, okay. We'll figure this out.
It was in season 2.
Oh, jeez. Was it like a leftover of like, hey guys, we got this awesome idea for season 1. We can't use it yet, though.
I don't know. It was like 15 episodes in, so.
Yeah. Oof. Didn't they tease the Borg soon after that? Like, and now for something completely different that doesn't revolve around salamanders.
They might have. It's been so long since I watched Voyager.
Yeah, same. I didn't like how the Borg became the villain of the week for a little while on that.
Yeah, I mean, there was plenty of stuff they could have done with it that was, making them the villain of the week and then turning them into chumps when that other species showed up.
8479, yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, remember in TNG in The Next Generation, like, they were like the boogeymen, like, oh,
Yeah.
no. But in Voyager, it was like, yeah, modulate the phasers, and okay, we did it. It was like, no big deal.
It also completely clashes with the entirely excellent First Contact movie, where one cube fucks everything.
Yeah, because, Picard is like, finally, my nightmare is over. Everything is. What do you mean they're back? What?
What do you mean you just told me to, pull the ass end of nowhere?
Right? Ugh. I do like the 7 of 9 origin story where we find out what the hell her parents were doing and everything else. So that was cool.
I don't actually remember that.
The Raven. All right. Later, Meredith. You better have tacos for everybody and everybody else. We're out of here. Thank you very much for joining us today for this Star Trek and Build Talk. That was interesting.
Yeah.
Special thanks to the patrons that make all of this possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing this, and my lighting would be horrible, and things would just be bad. Not that my lighting's not horrible now. There we go. Okay.
Oh, your lighting's fine.
And also, I got this cool zit on my nose that burst, so that's cool.
Oh, that's terrific.
So, yeah, isn't it, though?
I want to hear more about that.
Oh,
I don't want to hear more about that. That's a lie.
Okay.
I was trying to be supportive.
Thanks. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. John, thank you very much for popping by. John is a patron and gets mentioned in all of our tons of fun episodes. So, any hooser, goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Have a good.
Trans rights are human rights. God damn it. Wear a mask. Get the shot.